So today is January 17th, and it is Thursday. Tomorrow, 100-point test. That is why I'm really trying to go through this sheet from last night really good. Listen, between the sheet from last night and the sheet for tonight, you've got the test in your hands. You've got an example of every question. An example of every question. Just give me a second. So you want to make sure that you're, I guess you'd say, looking at, one second, I'm on the wrong thing. That you are really figuring out, like if you missed it, why you missed it. Okay, so starting out. This is Wednesday night's homework. And I'm starting out by just going over these because these are the basic ones. So starting out, we had parallelograms. First thing is, you got to know which shape it is. Shh, listen. Okay, then, counted the dots, counted going up, got 25 units squared. Second one, 9 times 11, 99 inches squared. Guys, no formula, probably 2 points off. No work, probably 2 points off. Answer wrong, probably 2 points off. Then, if you don't have measurements, it's like 1 or 2 points. So look at your paper. Like it's kind of like you're pre-grading before you ever take a test.
How much is each one worth?
They are on the front of the test. They're like 10, 11 points. They're like 8 and 9 points.
Each?
Uh-huh. Yeah. And the ones on the back that are more, they have even more steps, are like 10, 11, and 12 points. So, yeah, it adds up. Are we good on those? Okay, base and height. My biggest hint about this going into today's review sheet is you always want to look where the 90 degree is. We have put trickers all over the test. So, you might see a measurement over here on a triangle. But you need the one that makes the T for this one, like the height and the base. Down here, same thing, base and height. I got 25 and 7/16. Even on trapezoids, make sure that height is up and down where the 90 is. That's where the height comes from. Okay, and then on a trapezoid, we know the two bases are the parallel sides. Okay, hint for today, how many sides do these trapezoids have? 4. If you see a 5-sided figure, I don't care what shape it is, it's not a trapezoid. So think about that. If you see a 5-sided figure and you're like, huh? It's probably one of the ones that we need to make 2 shapes and put them together. Okay? Yes?
I got 45.
45. Okay, so, one second. I'm trying to make it bigger for you. Okay, so I got a base of 10 and 2 making 12. Start out with that. Did you get that? Like, okay, did you use that formula? The base 1 plus base 2? Okay, so the bases have to be parallel lines. So to get these two B's, B1 and B2, it is this one and that one. Does that help? And then the height on the outside is the 7. Does that help a little bit? Okay. Most kids who've missed any of these, and if it be this sheet or the one we're doing in class today, it's they're getting swapped bases and heights. Most of it. So, yes?
I accidentally put 2 sevens. Instead of 2, I put 7.
Yes. It's easy. It's easy. Tomorrow, I'll be honest, I'm going to try to help you. I'm going to try to be like, hey, make sure you divided all your triangles by 2. Or make sure you divided all your trapezoids by 2. Or I'll say something like, hey, do you have measurements on all these things? but you got to listen to me for those helpful hints. Okay, so, okay, everybody go through 7 here, even though there wasn't a 4. Okay, looking at this one, number 8, okay, hint, hint, hint. There's one of these on the test. It is even a parallelogram, which I shouldn't be telling you that, but I am, okay? So when you see that they want a missing figure, there's something missing. They want us to find the base. And they gave you the area. You want to first think, okay, it's a parallelogram. Write the formula for a parallelogram. Then you look up in this math problem, you say, okay, the height is 6 5/8. So under H, I put 6 5/8. Then the area. Under A, I put 26 1/2. B is my missing thing. It might be the B, it might be the H. Okay? Do the opposite math to get rid of it. This means multiply. So the opposite math is divide. What we do to one side, do to the other. That side gives you your answer. It is weird. When I got 4 feet, I figured I was wrong because I saw all these little fractions. So what did I do? Put it in a calculator again and made sure. Okay, please key it in twice. These bases and heights are going to be boring measurements, feet and inches. Only area is squared. Only when A equals something. Is that good on that one? Question?
I put 4 feet squared instead of just 4 feet.
Yes. And I know I'm supposed to take a point off. We'll see if I remember it. You know what I mean? Like when I'm grading. This could be a hard one to grade. I'll be the first to say that. There is so much little stuff to grade. I do really, really hope to get them back to you on Monday. If you're here or whatever, just because I want to get them done. But it's going to be interesting to grade. We're going to see how this goes. So, okay, number 10. There's one like this. It is a shape inside a shape. And when they only want that shaded, that means we need to, and this is what a lot of kids are forgetting today, subtract. I'm seeing this number and I'm seeing this number, but they're never doing this math. Remember, when you find that middle part, if you want to take it out, you want to throw it away. Subtract it. Okay, show all this math. These are the kinds that are like 11 and 12 points. Because it's like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and then maybe that's 14 or something. So, it's a lot.
I think of it as a picture frame.
Picture frame, yes. Yes. It's exactly what I do. And I think about taking that middle out. Okay, on the back. Somebody's asking me questions. Now, on the back, there is one of these. I think it's a parallelogram if I'm remembering correctly. Once again, this thing is like 10 points or something on the test because I got to check, is every point in the right place? And that's probably 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the formula is probably 2. That's probably 2, and that's probably 2. Okay. Does that help a little bit? A little bit. Yes.
I must have counted wrong because I got 7.
Yes.
I got 7.
And I'll check it. Let's see. Going across the bottom, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, don't count that little chunk there because, does that make sense? It's kind of hard to tell, but like, go from dot to dot. And if it helps, listen, on a test, guys, look real quick. If I was you on a test, think about where this point is located. This point is at -3 and -1. So I want you to think about it. How far is it over from 0? 3. Okay, does that make sense? So over here, this point is 1, 2, 3 and -1. So if this is 3 and -1, how far is it from 0? 3. And so this 3 plus this 3 makes 6. So, like, check your numbers. I don't know that I would trust on a test counting dots. Check the coordinates themselves. It's not going to hurt anything. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. I'm going to spend the beginning of this class kind of working the front of this with you. Because I'm trying to get a video done for anyone who wasn't here or whatever. What we're going to do, I'm going to do my best to get through as much of this as I can. And then if we don't finish, we'll finish for homework, whatever. I'm sorry, I'll do one more. Let's pass it over. Thank you. This is what we're going to be working on. I'm getting there. Pass out paper. Okay. Keep these. Okay. So, if you've already done this, like if you've had math with me earlier today or something, like with lunch class, just keep it out and make sure answers are right with me. Okay. 1 second. I'm getting myself discombobulated. Okay. So what I'm going to do is literally work these out. I want you to, I would say, work it out, checking behind yourself and making sure they are correct. 1 second. I'm giggling because I know someone came and borrowed my answer key, so I don't have one. So now we'll get to just see if we can do the math. Okay. Start with number 1 with all these questions. My group, I will say this. Not exactly. It might be, but I don't think so. Yes, it is. Awesome. Thank you. I thought this was something else. Okay. I want to do this. Say this real quick. Okay. With Miss Donahue's kids, we're not going to worry yet about this little sentence over here that says, find the area in square inches. We'll do that later in life. Right now, we'll just find the area of the shape. Okay. Now, start out. Look at the words. It says, find the area of each parallelogram. Now, please remember the hint I said earlier. Base times height, but it's got to be at a 90. It has to be at a 90. So, on number 1, what should the formula be? B times H. A equals base times height. Okay. Now, what is my base? 40. What is my height? 34. Listen, that is it. That's where my 90 is formed. This is a tricker. You don't use it. So, when you do 40 times 34, looks like I got 1,360 centimeters squared. Everybody good on that one? Okay, number 2. Base times height for parallelogram. All these are parallelograms. Tomorrow you have to know the shape. We can't ask me. That's part of this whole test. Okay, the base is 5.6 and the height is 4.7. So 5.6 times 4.7 is 26.32. I look over and it's meters, and since it's area, it's squared. Okay, we're on number 3 now. Same shape, parallelogram, base times height. Base is 18, height is 7. So I got
126 feet squared.
126 feet squared. So those are just basic parallelograms. Got to know the formula. Good so far? Okay. The next part we just talked about on the review, it's that missing shapes thing. Missing side or missing base or missing height, whatever it is. Okay, so look. Find the missing measure of each parallelogram. That is your hint. That means they have an area. So take number 4. Okay, think about the formula for area of a parallelogram. Base times height. Look at what they give you, guys. This really helps you. They gave me an area of 120. That's why it's under the A, because it is the area. And the base is 20. Now, my H is my unknown. It is my variable. So we talked about when there's a number and a letter up against each other, it means multiply. So to get H down here all by itself, we're going to use division. We use the opposite math. Those get to disappear, but what we do to one side, we have to do to the other, leaving me with 6 for the height, and it is just feet. Just be careful, because heights are boring measurements, just how tall you are. Okay? Try number 5 real quick and see if you can do it. Now that you've got 4 sitting there, see if you can do 5. Just real quick. Give everybody a chance real quick. There is one of these, I think, on the test tomorrow. Trying to fit it in there. Did you end up with 4.5 millimeters? Okay, I tried to fit the mm. That wasn't easy. Millimeters. Okay, so bases and heights, boring measurements. That's why they're not squared. Everybody good on those now? Okay, and these are just one-step equations, meaning do the opposite to get it to the other side. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to go to triangle. The formula for a triangle is base times height divided by 2. Okay, now hint, 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 hint. There's triggers on these. And I need you to once again remember that I keep saying, and I'm going to put my hand on the screen for a second, but you need that perfect L for the base and the height. Like you need the T or whatever. So we're looking at this first triangle. Where is the 2 numbers? Or where are the 2 numbers? I'm sorry.
2 and 8.
2 and 8, yes. And this is why. And this looks kind of silly, but I'm going to show you. Like, this is that perfect corner. So this touches it, and that touches it. That is why those are the 2 numbers you're working with. This is just a trigger. It's a length of a side. And you have to be able to find those tomorrow. Okay, so the base is 8. The height is 2. And it looks like I got 8 feet squared. Okay. Everybody good on that one? Okay, number 7. Which one's the trigger on 7?
The 25.
The 25, yes. running out of space, needless to say. 89.79 meters squared. Yikes. Okay, that ended up kind of messier than I thought. That is number 7. Make sure you divide by 2 on all these triangles. And then number 8, I'm going to kind of do right here, I guess. I've run out of space. Okay. It is, let's see, A equals 7.5 times 3 divided by 2. 7.5 times 3 is 22.5 divided by 2, and it looks like I got 11 1/4 centimeters squared. I'm trying to fit it all in there. 11 1/4 centimeters squared. So if you got like 11.25, that is the same thing. Any questions on the triangles? Base times height divided by 2. Everybody good? Okay. Okay, so let's go down to the trapezoids. Okay. We need to remember that on a trapezoid, there's some things that we have to know because of the formula. The formula for the trapezoid, and there's the word trapezoid, is that height times base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2. Now, the bases are supposed to run like railroad tracks. So I'm being kind of silly, but just to show y'all, these are your bases. And if you want to use a highlighter tomorrow, that is fine. Because I need you to see them running right next to each other. They're railroad tracks, even though the train just went by. Okay. The height is the distance between them. It's not always standing up tall and straight. Okay. The height on this one is right here, and it is 12. It's kind of hard to see on that one. The height on this one, yes, it's nice and pretty. There's your little right angle, and it's 14. This is the one that keeps getting people. Okay? Between the railroad tracks, that's the height. It just so happens to be up there. Okay? It can be on the bottom and the top. It's just the distance between the railroad tracks. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to work this out. So I have a 12, and y'all can just keep going on these. If you're waiting on me, feel free to keep going, and you can work on the back. And yes, you have to write the formula every time. Okay, adding those together, I get 34.4. Now I multiply on top, giving me 481.6. Divide by 2 gives me 240.8 I look back up there and it's meters, and because it's area, it is squared. It's a lot of work, guys. It's a lot of paper and pencil. Show your steps. I know for a fact that the formula is like 2 points and filling it in is 2 points. This might only be 2 points, and then that's 2 points, but it adds up. They're like 8 points each or something. Yes?
79 and 1/4 for the multiplier.
Okay, wait a minute. Like that times that?
Yeah.
So,
34 and 0.14.
okay, so wait a minute. Go back. 14.4 plus 20 is 34.4. Okay, 34.4. Okay, and then times 14, I got that. Divide by 2. Okay, 1 second. Let me do number 11. Number 11, here we go. Guys, we're not out yet. I know you want to be, but give me just a second here. Check this number 11. Okay, 17 plus 13. I got 30. 330 divide by 2. A equals 165. Now, for this 7th period class, basically for you guys, it looks like you have basically the back to finish. What I would do is tonight watch the second video for you guys. It'll have the back on it. On the back, the biggest issue has been these two. Is this one of them that you were asking about? Two bases. I cut mine this way. So this would be a base, and that would be the other base, the trapezoid. Yep. Okay. So, my friends, I will finish the rest of this video in just a little bit. Yay for two videos today. Woo, exciting. Okay. Please try these. And 7th period, I would try them totally